They say a badge gives you power, respect, and protection, but what if it becomes the very thing that exposes you? For Detective Alex Carter, his badge didn't just fail him, it betrayed him in the worst way imaginable. One woman, his closest confidant, shattered everything he thought he knew about loyalty, and in a courtroom full of eyes, she brought him to his knees. My name's Alex Carter, I'm 32 years old, and I've been a detective with the Elmswood Police Department for nearly a decade. Every morning, I lace up my boots, step into my uniform, and head out into the city I swore to protect. The sounds of the traffic and the smell of early morning coffee are as routine as breathing, as ordinary as the beat I've walked for years. But somewhere, amidst the chaos of late-night calls and paperwork, something shifted, something I never saw coming. It wasn't just the city's crime rate that was creeping up, it was the people I trusted, the ones I fought beside every day, and little did I know, one of them was about to stab me in the back. Detective Sarah Wells was my partner. More than that, she was my friend. We had been through it all together, long nights, dangerous cases, the kind of camaraderie that built a bond beyond just colleagues. Sarah had this quiet way about her, confident yet approachable, sharp but compassionate. But over the last few months, something was changing. She started taking extra shifts without me, acting secretive, getting caught in quiet, whispered conversations with people I didn't recognize. I thought nothing of it at first, just the pressures of the job, maybe, but then I covered for her, missing my son's soccer game, sacrificing moments I couldn't get back. I trusted her. After all, we had each other's backs. But when it all came crashing down, it was more than I could ever have prepared for. One night, I found a file on her desk, a file with my name on it. At the time, I didn't understand what it meant. Little did I know, it was a setup. It hit me like a freight train. One morning, I walked into the office, expecting to pick up where we left off, only to find Sarah standing in front of a room full of my colleagues. Detective Carter is guilty of tampering with evidence, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Her words sliced through the air, each one heavier than the last. My knees buckled, and I fought to keep my breath steady, my heart pounding in my chest. "You're lying," I managed to whisper, though I wasn't even sure who I was trying to convince. I could feel my entire world unraveling in front of me. Her cold eyes met mine. "I didn't lie, Alex. You just couldn't see it. You never did." The room was silent, but the buzz in my head was deafening. My hands shook, but I kept my composure. Barely. This was it. My career, my reputation, everything I had worked for was slipping away, and she was the one holding the knife. I could have fought back immediately, yelled, lashed out, gone into damage control, but I knew better. Instead, I stayed calm. I left the office, walked to my car, and drove home. I couldn't afford to make rash decisions. Not this time. That night, I went through everything, every case we'd worked, every phone call, every piece of evidence I'd handled. I didn't sleep for days. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Sarah's face, her betrayal etched in my mind, but I wasn't going to let her win, not like this. I gathered everything, phone records, email trails, security footage. She'd made a mistake, and I was going to make sure the truth came out. My badge wasn't a shield anymore, it was a weapon, and I was going to use it. Sarah started texting, calling, begging for forgiveness. "Alex, we both know this isn't what it looks like," she wrote. "Please, just trust me." But I didn't answer. I couldn't. I wasn't angry anymore, just cold. Every message, every call made me realize how far she had fallen. She was frantic now, desperate. "I swear I'll fix this, Alex. Just give me a chance," she pleaded one final time. I let the silence be my response. I didn't need to say a word. The day of the trial arrived, and I walked into the courtroom. The air was thick with tension, the murmur of the crowd like a low hum. I'd kept my evidence hidden, waiting for the perfect moment. As Sarah stood in front of the judge, smug and self-assured, I waited. Then, when the time was right, I presented it. Photos, recordings, emails, the undeniable proof that Sarah had been the one orchestrating the entire scheme. She had manipulated everything from the start, feeding false information to smear my name. The courtroom was in shock. Sarah's face turned pale, her eyes wide with disbelief as the reality sank in. One by one, the people who had once supported her turned away. The murmurs grew louder, and I stood there, resolute, as the truth unraveled in front of everyone. Sarah's career was over, the charges against her were severe, and the public outrage was swift. She was arrested that day, her reputation ruined forever. But as I left the courtroom, there was no joy in my victory, just a quiet sense of peace. I had done what needed to be done, not out of revenge, but to reclaim the integrity I'd lost. I had rebuilt myself, piece by piece, from the ground up. I thought about the lessons I had learned, that trust is a fragile thing, and betrayal can come from the most unexpected places, but there's always a way back from the darkest places, as long as you don't lose who you are. I'm still a cop, still protecting the city I love, but now I know the cost of trust. The badge isn't a shield, it's a reminder of who you are when everything else falls apart. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? Tell me your story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories of strength, redemption, and the truth coming out when you least expect it. Stay strong, stay true.